You hear that? That bitch has been wasting water all day, and it does that every fucking day for the last 3 years now. And it does that for the management at the yards and Union Station apartments. It does it constantly, on and off and on and off, but it does it all day. Why can I say that? I live right next door. For the most part, that's not the only thing that does happen, actually. The neighbor on the other side, I call that thing the wall banger because it's been banging the wall for, I remember now, for now 2 years also. It actually took a long break. But it came back in flows. The one upstairs was the dog scratcher that would, as I've reported before, has done quite a bit of obscene and very much nuisance behavior. It would begin early in the morning, like about 3 in the morning, 4 or so, and continue on with, of course, knowing that I would be helpless to resort to receive assistance from management, because management actually is the one who's been encouraging all of this harassing behavior, threatening behavior, maliciously intentional by, of course, every neighbor and every side, up, down, left, right, or at any corner. Recently found out that the one character down the hallway next to the laundry room, it's been one of these stalkers. That's the new stalker. But what really is weird and wicked is that when they look at me like as if I've done something wrong to them, when I don't even know the motherfucking low-life scumbags. When the truth of the matter really is actually that management has brought these criminals into my life, to introduce them into my life, to make me feel threatened, possibly even worse, to threaten me, and probably even to act out threatening, as they already have. And to have done that is very irresponsible of management. It's more than irresponsible. It's criminal. It's also a federal crime. And the one thing I can remember too is that it was all said to me and scripted and told to me how it was scripted by Rudy Jeffrey, who mentioned that in a comment that he made in one of my posts from Nirvana's song, All Apologies. In the lyrics it says, "All in all is all we are." Rudy commented, "All alone is all we are." And he had worked for 2 years and working that. Everyone that I knew in my past, including family, believe it or not, he worked on them to rid them from my life. I had already done that myself. It's not like it's something that hurts all that much, more than it hurts to know that that I would be violated and would be tormented and tortured simply for the joy of their pathetic worthlessness. What is really interesting, though, about the situation with involving Rudy is that I still like him, and I still I do forgive him, only because he did so much for me that he doesn't even understand what he did for me. I'm just amazed at myself that I can actually recognize what he's done for me. He hurts me still by knowing what he did do that was not helpful. But for him to have done an opposite of that as well, which is to have, in a way, assisted me in forms and shapes, and, well, not shapes, but necessarily in manners that he doesn't really recognize. And I keep recognizing new manners in which he was assisting to help me. That's not necessarily the only reason why I forgive him, but I forgive him mostly because I wish more for him and better than what he was promised, and I think that I think he's worth a lot more than what he thinks he is, much more than what he lives to be, and I wish for him better than what he works for. I think that when he works for destroying people's lives and destroying to kill them, it's most definitely what I think the person like him should not ever deserve. I think that it would be really wonderful if the person that he portrayed to be was actually true. It would be really cool to see that the person that he faked to be, that he became that person. As you notice, the water next door is not running now because that bitch is always back behind me sniffing my asshole. Even when I'm taking a shit, it's there sniffing it, looking at it, staring at it, licking it, dipping it. It does all that consistently without a miss. It's very telling in how on February the 5th, when it came out of its apartment, asking me, "Who are you calling a coward?" What are you calling a coward? Well, a coward is a fucking douchebag that actually gangs up against one person by the millions. That's coward enough. And that it doesn't understand that that's cowardly and questions why people would call him a coward when he's calling me names behind the walls. I said, well, whoever's saying that, whatever your idea of saying that behind closed doors, behind walls to anybody, that's a coward right there. And it comes out of its apartment asking me, who are you calling a coward? So it's very much telling you how retarded that character is, how mentally psychotic and mentally ill that character is, to not realize the cowardly behavior that it does to violate me. Also, that the management itself, Alana Wilson, would actually contract with that criminal, psychotic, mentally ill, disturbed individual to violate me. It's even more worse of a violating crime in Alana's part for her to be, playing that role of doing that to me, an individual who's actually innocent, doesn't even know these characters, who also is innocent because I've never done them anything, never done them wrong. I always keep to myself. But the fact that it's actually a connection to the home forward scum criminals over there that actually contracted with all these losers that are now currently in my life doing the same fucking bullshit that they did at Quachunga Forward Commons, along with the pigs at the Portland Police Department, and probably extended into the district attorney, who most likely, when she said to me that I was left for the dogs because she couldn't help me, being that she tried to prosecute me already and lost because she was wrong, let the criminals walk and kept going after me in this manner. And what the behavior of all these characters that I just mentioned is very much consistent in the pattern and the methods of how it began in the beginning. It's very much telling also of who is involved, because for me to have kept to myself all through this time that I lived here for about now 3 years, and have them continue to fester and pester and violate and commit their crimes against me, it's very telling of what is really behind it. What's behind it is malicious, intentional